April 18th, Southern Delaware. This is the day that months ago, some friends and I picked to take off of work to surf fish. And the fishing on this day was brutal, with a cold 20-mile-per-hour sustained north wind. The gusts were near 30 miles per hour. White caps and turned-up ocean as far as you could see. Notice one thing you don't see are other fishermen. The wind kept everyone away.
Had a fish.
But you know what? We're 5 guys from Pittsburgh, Philly, and Baltimore who came here to fish on the beach. And that's what we did. It certainly wasn't easy, but we managed to end this tough day with a decent meal. My name,
How can you say no comment?
is Chris Pabst.
Why are you taking my microphone?
Monday through Friday, I'm an investigative reporter. But on weekends, I just want to be on water. Here, there's no professional fishermen, charter boats, or tour guides. It's just everyday anglers in search of those hidden limits. We're fishing today with 4 of my good friends, RJ, Matt, Van, and Brigger.
No.
Monday through Friday, RJ is in law enforcement. Matt is a financial advisor. Van is a contractor, and Brigger sells lube, oil for heavy machinery.
Hey, guys, all right? It's a little chilly out there.
A little windy? A little cold? You okay?
When it comes to surf fishing, wind is a very important factor. When planning a trip, I monitor the wind as much as temperature, pressure, and rain.
It's getting hit.
Knowing how wind affects fishing can help you catch a lot of fish or cause you to catch none.
Yeah, it was.
Let's start with an east wind, meaning it's coming from the east. Positives of an east wind is that it moves the food chain towards land. In other words, an east wind pushes smaller fish towards the shore, and the bigger fish follow, making more game fish reachable from the beach. Also, a positive of an east wind is that it chops up the water, and fish like turbulent water. It provides cover and stirs up food from the bottom. The negative of an east wind is that too much of it can muddy the water, and your casting distance is limited because the wind is in your face. The positive of a west wind is that it increases your casting distance, so you can target areas farther away from the beach. Also, a west wind can blow bugs and food from land into the water, which can activate the fish to eat. A negative of a west wind is that it generally pushes the food chain away from land, and it can calm the water by pushing against the waves. And calmer water stirs up less food from the bottom. East winds and west winds can both be productive, but crosswinds, they get tricky. A south wind, especially in the spring, can be a good thing. The positive is that the warm southern air can warm the water, and fish get more active. The negative is that it's hard to keep your bait in the strike zone because the crosswind catches your line and tends to drag it back to shore. When it comes to a north wind in the spring, which is what we're fishing, I don't think there is a positive, but it has all the cons. The cold air cools the water, making the fish less active. Plus, it's hard to keep your bait in the strike zone. So yeah, on this day, we have the worst of the worst, a strong north wind in early spring. This is why it's so important to check wind conditions and prepare.
Poisonous, isn't it?
I mean, it's a really pretty fish. Look at his teeth. Whoa. Nice. Look at it.
We're using Penn rod and reels. I have a variety of 7, 8, and 9-foot rods, medium heavy to heavy action with 5,000 and 6,000 series reels. Some with 20-pound monoline, others with 20-pound braid. These setups are great in the surf, the bay, or the inlet. Hey, this hobby can get expensive. I try to keep costs down by using versatile rigs. For bait, it's all about diversifying the presentation. We have a mixture of frozen shrimp, mullet, clams, and fish bites, which are imitation bloodworms. They're on top, bottom, and fish finder rigs, some with floats, some without. From there, just pay attention to what's working and adapt.
That one's blowed up. It's puffed. That's that denny fish.
Props to Van here for getting the footage of this pufferfish fully puffed. I thought I was recording, I wasn't. But this fish was really cool. It looks like it's smiling. The key to all of this is the Sputnik sinker. Without these sinkers, we would not catch any fish. As I mentioned, the strong crosswinds combined with the current catches your line and wants to push your bait back to shore. These metal arms attached to the weight dig into the ocean floor and hold your bait in place, keeping it in the strike zone, allowing the feeding fish to find it.
That is a big skate. That's a big skate.
We're fishing today at the Delaware Seashore State Park, in between the Indian River Inlet and the Maryland state line. This is an area you come to if you want quiet. There are 2 large state parks in this small section of the state. Much of the beach is wild, with no lifeguards. The towns here are Bethany Beach and Fenwick Island, which are small, peaceful, and not commercialized. If you want nightlife, clubs, water parks, and go-karts, head a little south to Ocean City, Maryland. If you want to quietly relax around nature, Southern Delaware is for you.
Guys back in here?
We're just in here researching our tips on how to catch some fish.
You doing okay?
Doing all
Are you doing all right? Yeah? You guys gonna come back out? Yeah, we're catching fish out here.
I got an idea.
It's warm in here. I can feel the warmth.
That's why we're here.
It's warm in here.
Back on the beach, once we started catching some skate, Matt began to fillet the wings.
That thing's gonna be like 30 inches long. Easy.
This chef had a plan.
It's a nice one. It's big.
This day, while cold and windy, was a success. We caught 12 total fish, which given the conditions, I consider a victory. Now, we eat. Skate wings are a mild, flaky white meat, sweet and tender. If you like scallops, you'll like skate wings. The downside is that it can be a lot of work to remove the skin and prepare them. I always find it best to know someone like Matt who enjoys doing this. Some blackened seasoning mixed with butter, key lime juice, cabbage, cilantro, cheese, hot sauce, onions, and there you have it. Skate tacos. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Hidden Limits Outdoors.